Peace, 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 everyone. My name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist, back with another video, back with another book review. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I'm serious about my shit. So let's get it. Today's book review, I got a good one for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going into the Indian or Vedic philosophy. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with some of their deities. You know what I'm saying? And like Bobby always said, in order to understand this stuff, you got to understand, you got to study everything. You got to study everything around the globe because there's no complete system left. It's all in fragments. So you got to study it all and put it together like a puzzle. That's why I study it all, and that's why I come with these different books, these metaphysical books. And today's book is Hanuman, The Devotion and Power of the Monkey God. Vananamali, forward by Sri Krishna Das. And the author is Mataji Devi Banamali. I hope I pronounced that right. I try my best. I hope I pronounced it right. Um, I'm gonna put it up on the screen so y'all can see that for yourself. So in case I mispronounced it, y'all can read it and you know what I'm saying. But that's the author. And let me tell you something. This lady or this goddess, I'm gonna say, writes in such a way that is mesmerizing. When I was reading this book, I couldn't stop. I mean, the way she writes is mesmerizing, to say the least, because I'm anticipating what's on the next page or what's the next paragraph. This book is so good. I'm telling you, this lady right here can write. Let me get y'all a picture of her. If you got any of her books, or if you notice this lady, get her books. This lady can write in a way that is fascinating. That's all I could say. I read this whole entire book, and I usually don't read whole entire books. I usually, go get books in different pieces, and as spirit leads me, I'll go to different books. But I read this whole entire book. It was that good. I couldn't stop. I had to keep going all the way to the end. But anyway, Hanuman, the devotion and power of the monkey god. You might say, Mike, why would I need that book? Well, sometimes in life we go through things to where we have to tap into other energies to get through it. Let me put it that way. See what I'm saying? So in order to tap into the energies of Hanuman, the monkey god, is a very powerful deity. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted at all. And I think I got a real small statue of him, and I got a little tiny one just to show his power. It's this little tiny statue because when you reading on him, you know what I'm saying? When you reading on him, um, it's telling you a lot of these fantastic stories, but a lot of it is allegorical. You know what I'm saying? Is disguised in symbolism. You feel me? So you got to really be well versed in symbolism and esoteric knowledge to really understand it or understand it. You know what I'm saying? But this book is worth having in your library, family. And I'm gonna read something from the back, but I'm gonna get the little statue ahead of me real quick. I want to show y'all the size of this statue. It's so tiny, but that's not the point. The point is the power. You see how tiny that statue is? That's Hanuman, the monkey god. You know what I'm saying? And that's why y'all should get these statues. Because anytime you get these statues and bring them into your house, that the energy that statue encapsulates comes into your house as well. So you're bringing that energy into your house. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever want to tap into Hanuman, you know what I'm saying, get a statue, start meditating on him, read on him. You know what I'm saying? And whatever you're going through, apply what you're learning to try to think and act like Hanuman would. So you actually embody and become Hanuman. You know what I'm saying? And then you can overcome anything. Trust me. Get the book, Hanuman, the Monkey God. I'm telling you, and this lady writes in such a way, man. She gonna have you reading the whole book. She gonna have you reading the whole book. But that's Hanuman, the Monkey God. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. But I'm gonna read something from the back like I always do, family. Y'all know how I always do. Um, With spellbinding luminosity, master storyteller Vanamali propels the reader into transcendental realms of inspiring valor and sublime devotion. With illuminating authenticity, Vanamali again and again showers us with the ambrosia of Sri Hanuman's devotion to Lord Rama. Best known for his role in the Ramayana, Hanuman's playful nature, amazing physical powers, and selfless devotion to Lord Rama have made him one of the most beloved gods in the Hindu pantheon. As a monkey, he symbolizes the ever restless human mind. Because, sometimes the mind can be restless. And the mind's like an animal. Like when you first start meditating, family, the mind's gonna fight you. If you ain't never meditated before, the mind is gonna fight you. It's gonna chatter. It's gonna do everything it can. But you have to gently guide it. Just keep going and gently guide it, and then you'll get the gist of it. But you trying to force the mind, you never do it. You might as well try to force a bull or something to try, or an elephant, try to do some shit. You'll never do it. You have to gently guide the mind, and then it will get where you're going. You know what I'm saying? You have to tame it. See, because it's like a wild animal. If you know what I'm saying, if you get my drift. But yeah, where was I? He teaches us that though everyone is born an animal, anyone can attain the heights of spiritual evolution through perseverance and ardent discipline. Having perfected his mind through bhakti, selfless devotion, to obtain his powers, Hanuman embodies the highest potential we can achieve. So that's why I tell y'all to get these books. So when you read them and study them and apply this stuff, you can achieve the same things that he achieved. But you do it with the mind. You feel me? You do it with the mind. So in this book, Vanamali recounts 36 legendary Hanuman stories from his birth to his adventures in the Ramayana and reveals the spiritual lessons, yogic practices, and Vedic astrology aspect they contain. So see, these stories contain yogic practices, spiritual lessons, and also Vedic astrology tied into the stories. That's serious. That's serious. And it's the same thing with the Bible. It's the same thing with the Bible. All this is in the Bible too, but if you're reading it literal, you're gonna miss it. If you're reading it literal, you're gonna miss it. So yeah, family, I'm gonna read that part one more time. In this book, Vanamali recounts 36 legendary Hanuman stories from his birth to his adventure in the Ramayana. And the Ramayana are ancient texts, ancient Hindu or Indian texts, or just call them ancient texts. 'Cause I don't even want to put a race to them because texts don't have a race. A lot of people try to claim these texts, but these texts be a lot older than these people. A lot older. Some of these texts be eternal. They just keep coming back like people. They just keep reincarnating. You know what I'm saying? That's why they dug up the Nag Hammadi in 1945, the original Christian text in Qumran, Egypt. So these texts be eternal. They you know what I'm saying? They keep getting dug up. They keep coming back. But it says and reveals the spiritual lessons, yogic practices, and Vedic astrology aspects they contain. Vanamali shows how Hanuman has the ability to bestow selfless devotion and strength to his devotees, and that following his example is the surest path to attracting the blessing of Rama. Yo, this is a serious piece. I'm telling you. The lady, the goddess who wrote this book is spellbinding with her right. I'm telling y'all, I was mesmerized, y'all. I'm telling you, I've never had a book that mesmerized me, and this one did it. I couldn't stop reading. I was so anxious to know what was on the next page or what was going to end. You know what I'm saying? Or what, how Hanuman and you get to know Sita and all the characters in the story. And once you get to know all the characters in the story, you start to understand, okay, these characters are nothing but aspects of what goes on in the human constitution. Like one character might represent jealousy, one character might represent courage, one character might represent the ego, one character might represent the soul. It's that deep, family. It's that deep, but you got to get the book and read it to understand that. And like I always say, don't take what I say about the book. Get the book and read it for yourself and get and let the book transform you. Get the gold out of it because books to me hit harder than videos. I'm telling you, they hit harder. I got some books, man, that got some meditation practices and ritual practices and all different kind of practices. If you do, that are life changing. I'm telling you, life changing. So that's why I do what I do with these books, family, because if you get them and start reading them, you'll see what I'm talking about. It ain't just talk. You know what I'm saying? This is real. You know what I'm saying? This is a real deal, Holyfield. But it says, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Um, Her name is Mataji Devi Vanamali. I hope I pronounced it right. I might not have. I hope I did, though. Has written 7 books on the gods of the Hindu pantheon, including Shakti, the play of God, and the Song of Rama, as well as translating the Bhagavad Gita. She is founder and president of Vanamali Gita Yoga Ashram Trust, dedicated to sharing the wisdom of Sanatana Dharma and charitable service to children. She lives at the Vanamala ashram in Rishikesh in northern India. Family, get this book. This lady can write in a spell in a way that will amaze you if you like to read, like I do. I love to read. I'm an avid reader. You know what I'm saying? I might pick up 10 books in one day. Serious, sometimes more than that. And that's a low number. Might pick up more than that, but I just love to read. And because it changed my life. And I just found out that there's like over 8 million people in America that can't read, that are illiterate. And I'm hoping I could change that. I'm trying to do my service to the world to try to change that. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a friend of mine, I ain't gonna mention his name. He's a good friend. He's an elder gentleman. But I've come to find out I've been knowing this man for 10 years and just found out maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago he couldn't read. And how I found out, and that's why a person, and the thing of it is, a person that can't read, you never wouldn't really know unless you're that attentive. You would never really know because they've been getting by so far. You would never really know they could read. You would think so. You know how I found out? He asked me to read something for him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say what, but he asked me to read something for him, and it was some important paperwork. So I see why he asked me to read it. But obviously, I felt honored because he trusted me and know it wasn't gonna go nowhere. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that can't read, so I hope, to play my role in changing that. You feel me? But yeah, family, get this book. And I'm gonna read something out of here like I always do. And somebody may get it, somebody may not, because you really have to be versed in this stuff to really understand it, because it's all consciousness, it's esoteric in nature. It's esoteric and symbolic and allegory in nature. You know what I'm saying? All the scriptures are all around the world. I'm talking about all around the world. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let me get some water. I got my little copper cup over here. You know what I'm saying? Like I always try to tell my audience, get you a copper cup and start drinking water from a copper cup because it also the copper cup electrifies the water. It also kills any like worms or anything you might have in the body. It kills that type of stuff. It's just very just it has a lot of positive properties for the body. It builds electrons and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So get y'all a copper cup to drink your water out of, family. It'll help your body out tremendously. And yeah, I'm gonna read this real quick. Messenger of Rama. And it says, I bow to the beloved of Rama, born from Anjana's womb, greatest of simians, Hanuman. May thou look after everyone's welfare. And then it says, Rama and Lakshmana now spent the 4 months of the moon sun season from July to October in a cave on the mountain called Prasravana. The sun now started to move south. Dark clouds heavily laden with water covered the sky so that the sun was not seen to be seen at all. The heavens burst and gushed down the mountainside and deluged the fields. The birds were silent. No animal stirred outside while the waters poured and roared. Wild vegetation covered the landscape with monstrous creepers and vines. The sky was perpetually overcast. The persistent gloom and dampness were reflected in Rama's heart. The skies are weeping at the fate of my beloved, as indeed I am, too, thought Rama. For 4 months the brothers were confined to the small cave with nothing to do but watch the continuous downpour going on outside. Those 4 months were months of torment for Rama, since he always imagined his beloved Sita's state and how anxious she must be about his whereabouts and whether he would come to rescue her. But there was nothing he could do about it since the monsoon season was not suitable for any sort of travel. The rains ended at last and the sky began to clear. Rama was waiting anxiously for Shagriva's arrival, but almost a month passed and still there was no sign of him. Seeing his unhappiness, Lakshmana said, "Brother, I think that the ungrateful monkey has totally forgotten the promise he made to you. I will go and remind him forcibly of his duties." Lakshmana was not a calm person by nature, and the 4 months of confinement inside the cave had not improved his temper in any way. And now the sight of his brother's agitation made his blood boil. He strapped the quiver to his shoulder, took up his bow, and strode toward Kishkinda, looking like a thundercloud. Rama cautioned him not to get angry and to try conciliatory methods with Sugriva. In the meantime, Hanuman was always conscious of his duty and couldn't bear this delay any longer. Sugriva was always closeted in the harem with his wives, drinking and carveting and making merry. He had totally forgotten about the passage of time. His bedroom was so gorgeous and comfortable that he had hardly left it for the past 4 months. He wasn't even aware of the storms raging outside. He was surrounded by his beautiful wives with long tresses and heavy breasts, which provided him with all comforts and sang and danced for him. Having been denied all the pleasures of the senses for such a long time, Sugriva found it impossible to control his appetite for food and sex. He was lying in a euphoric daze when Hanuman entered the harem when he had, excuse me, he was lying in a euphoric daze when Hanuman entered the harem where he had never gone before. "O Sugriva," he said, it ill befits you to forget the promise made by you to Rama. Because of him, you are now enjoying all these luxuries. The rainy season has long passed, and you have not redeemed your promise. Therefore, issues orders immediately to the monkeys that they should assemble for the great endeavor of finding Sita. Hearing these words of his able minister, Sugriva aroused himself a little and told Hanuman to send word to all monkeys and bears in all the lands under his sway to come and assemble in Kishkinda in a week's time. Let my entire army be assembled under their generals without delay, so that Rama may not think that I have been lagging in my duties. Having made this effort, Sugriva sank back into the arms of his wife. Lakshmana walked with purposeful strides to Kishkinda. The earth shook with the force of his angry steps. The entrance to the city was through a cave that was guarded by monkeys so that no one could enter without permission. Seeing Lakshmana, they took up trees in order to stop him from entering. When he saw this, he became doubly incensed. Seeing his fury, they fled in all directions. They ran to Sugriva and told him of Lakshmana's violent mood. The king was totally inebriated and lost to the world in the arms of his brother's wife. He hardly knew what they were saying. The monkeys now ran to Angada, who hurriedly came out of the gate to meet Lakshmana in order to try to pacify him. Lakshmana ordered, to call, Lakshmana ordered him to call his uncle immediately. He could hear the sweet strains of music and signs of revelry floating in the air, and when he thought of the agony that his brother had endured these past 4 months, his blood boiled. And Gada was scared out of his wits and ran to inform his uncle and mother of the situation. Hanuman also went, Hanuman also went to him and apprised him of the gravity of the situation. So that's just a little piece of it. And I know they can't really give you the gravity of having a book for yourself and reading it for yourself, but this lady is just a genius in her writing style. You know what I mean? And if you like to read like me, this book's for you. You need to put this book in your library. Again, her name is, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Her name is Mataji Devi Vanamali. Vanamali. Mataji Devi Vanamali. You know what I'm saying? Hanuman, the devotion and power of the monkey god. So, like I said, y'all, when y'all get these statues and put them in your house, that same power come in your house. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, get your statue. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. If you like a reading from me, hit me up. I'm gonna leave my email down in the description box. And also, every Sunday at 1 p.m., check out the High Vibe Tribe on Discord. It's me, the Sirius Alchemist, Jay Hooks, Spec Ambium, um, Queen Oracle P, and Dr. Sublime every Sunday at 1 p.m. on Discord. And pretty soon we coming to Facebook, we coming to YouTube, we coming to TikTok, we coming to all these other sites. But right now we just on Discord until we can get the everything together to go live on those sites. So look forward for the High Vibe Tribe, y'all. We coming. We rising. You feel me? And like I said, if you want to read from me, hit me up. I'm gonna leave my email down in the description box. Until the next video, peace.